All right, y'all. Peace, love, and divine light. I hope the sun is shining wherever you are and you are living in your greatest purpose. Thank you for your likes, comments, shares, subscribes. Thank you to all who have booked personal readings, all the channel members, new subscribers. I've been inspired to give a message, and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to use cards or if this is something that's just going to be delivered. And the message is, I entitled it The Closest Thing to Godlike Consciousness. Okay? And some of you may have your ideas about what that is, or it may actually be different things for different folks. Okay? Yet, before we get started, I want you to think big. I want you to think, very elevated. I don't want you to, go to, that low vibrational phase. Okay. And, some of you may actually think I'm talking about the S word. Okay. Some of y'all may actually think I'm talking about the S word. And some of you may feel like that's the closest thing that you've ever felt, to that godlike consciousness, is when you've been intimate. Okay. Many may feel that energy of intimacy, is the closest thing that they've ever gotten to godlike consciousness. I would definitely beg to differ. And I think, many of us have our own opinions about what that is. Okay. So before we get started, I want you to let me know where you're tuning in from. Okay, where you're tuning in from, and what else? Yeah, where you're tuning in from. Okay. All right. So if you have a question, you could definitely email me. If it's in regards to doing a personal reading. Okay, if you're interested in a personal reading, you can email me at messagesfromthewaters@gmail.com. All right, so I was actually thinking about this before coming on the live, and I'm gonna just tell you what it is that prompted this message. Okay, this is a personal experience that I've had. And so before doing this message, I was in a very deep meditative energy. Okay. And really just trying to pinpoint, what energies are out there. Trying to get a feel for what do I need to, or what do I get to do energetically to, tune into my highest self. Like, I was in a very, very deep meditative state before coming on here. And I wasn't sure if I actually wanted to do a live, because I was like, oh my goodness, doing a live actually takes a lot. Many of you may not know this. It really does take a lot energetically to come on here and do a live. I was like, I'm not sure if I want to do a live, right? So I came here to do the live anyway. Okay, so I came here to do the live anyway. And I noticed something. It was almost like magic. It was almost like magic. The minute that I came and I sat down and I was getting ready to do what my soul literally connects with, like, it was almost like magic. Like, I felt like, oh wait, I'm in the right space. Like, whatever meditative state I was in prior to this, it almost felt like it was getting me ready for, just sitting down and doing my work. And as soon as I sat down to do this live, I felt a sense of like, okay, you're in the right space. You're in the right place. And many of you have felt that. Okay. Many of you have felt this. You've gotten these feelings where, either when you're about to do something, or when you're in the midst of doing something, something just feels right. Okay, it feels like your soul is aligned with what you're doing. And it's almost like you don't need to get confirmation from anyone. You don't need to ask whether or not you're doing the right thing. Like, you just know intuitively that you're in the right space at the right time. Okay, many of you have felt this, and many of you are still trying to kind of like pinpoint what that's about. Okay, and I feel like the one of the ways that I can explain this is that when you are doing things that are in alignment with your soul's purpose, you just know. Okay, you just know. You feel it. It's almost like the way that I can explain it is where you it almost feels like, putting the pieces of a puzzle together. Like, everything is aligned and you feel it. You know this. Like, you know that, yeah, this is it. This is it. Like, I'm supposed to be doing this. So that's how I felt when I sat down to do this live, y'all. And it was like, it was a very empowering feeling. Okay, and so this is why I know that what I'm doing, okay, these readings, following my intuition, following, this calling. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I like, my spirit guides were speaking to me about me being here and doing these messages, and they were like, do you know that you almost didn't get here? That's what they were saying. Like, my spirit guides were like, do you know that what you're doing, delivering these messages, you almost didn't get there? And they were like, do you know that? Do you know how many obstacles were put in your path to prevent you from being here, getting here, sitting down and actually delivering these messages? I was like, okay, speak to me. What are you saying? And they were literally going down a list of things that happened, where if I had not gotten to a point where, I worked on myself, I would have literally let those things, keep me from being in this space. And as much as I'd like to say that a lot of times it is people that are doing things and do put things in our path and energies, and that's real, y'all. That is real. What's even more real is that we have the ability to shift at any moment. Okay, we have the ability to shift whatever circumstance, shift ourselves at any point in time. That is very significant. Okay. And so that's what I did to get here. And my spirit guides were like, yeah, you shifted, you did. Okay. I was like, okay, well, how did I shift? And spirit was just like, oh yeah. Remember when you used to be conscious about this? Remember when you used to actually care about what people think about you? Remember actually when you used to, allow criticism to, to keep you from doing X, Y, Z? I was like, yeah, I remember. Okay. Don't forget those. Don't forget those, because it humbles you and allows you to see that, you have, you have powerful forces working with you. Okay. As much as it takes a lot of willpower, right? It takes a lot of willpower. You also have powerful forces working with you, because there are people that are walking in alignment with their soul's purpose, right? And there are those who don't feel like they're doing that. Okay? There are those who don't feel like they're doing that. So just stay with me here, okay? And I hope this resonates with somebody. I know it does. Because usually these messages is like, okay, Spirit's like, that's not for you. That's not your message. Just go ahead and say what I ask you to say. Just go ahead and just speak. Okay. So Spirit was just like, as I sat down, Spirit was like, you are in your godlike consciousness. That's what I heard before coming on here. You are currently in your godlike consciousness. I was like, oh, okay, tell me a little bit more. Speak to me. Okay, say sweetness, speak sweetness into my ears. Well, speaking of that, y'all know that your spirit guides have a way of, like, you know how people talk about making love? Like, your spirit guides literally make love to your earbuds on a daily basis, and y'all just be missing it. And I'm not talking about that low vibrational stuff. I'm talking about, like, okay, love, the highest vibrational energy there is. Like, they have a way of making you feel that if you listen, okay? So anywho, all right, y'all. I know I'm just like, I'm on that energy today, y'all. So spirit was just like, yeah, you're in your godlike consciousness. You are in your power. And you know what is allowing you to be in your power? I said, okay, go ahead. Continue to speak sweetness into my ear, spirit. And spirit said, because you are in your creative energy. I said, what? Yeah, your creative energy. Your creative energy. And really think about this. Think about the most powerful force that exists, okay? People have different names for the powerful forces, nature and all that. But that creative energy is one of the closest ways that you will ever get to feel and know who God is. And many of you may not believe that there's a creator, call it whatever you want, Mother Nature, cosmos, the creative force, whatever. Okay, whatever floats your boat. Because I know some of y'all don't believe that there's a creator. In Haitian Vodou, believe it or not, contrary to, popular belief, Haitians in Haitian Vodou, we do believe in God. Okay? In Boukman's prayer, Bon Dieu qui fait soleil, qui claire nous en haut, okay, qui souleve la mer, qui gonde l'orage, qui c'est bon Dieu les autres tendez, cachez nous dans un âge, Allah li garde nous. They believe that there's a God. Boukman's prayer, okay, Boukman's prayer before I believe it was before the ceremony of Boakaima, okay. Boukman is considered a priest of Haitian Vodou. He recited that poem about our godlike consciousness, about our belief. Okay, a lot of folks may believe that, we don't believe that there's a God in Haitian Vodou. Yeah, we believe that there's one. There's several energies that are related to godlike consciousnesses, and there's, yeah. Okay, but that's not why I came, here, y'all. And speaking of Boukman, very significant energy. Very significant energy. Boukman, okay, Duti Boukman, was a priest of Haitian Vodou. Okay? And y'all know I always try to put a little bit of Haitian history in there. Now, going back to this godlike consciousness, our people, Haitian, we do believe in God. We believe. In Yoruba, they call it, I believe they call that consciousness Obatala. Okay? It may be Obatala or Odudu. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, someone who's on the live. But going back, okay, I see my yachties on the live, Jonathan, okay. So creating, that creative energy is the closest that you will ever get, that you will get to godlike consciousness. It's not, okay, wait, I was about to say it's not sex. I was about to say it's not sex, y'all, because it's like, some folks who are thinking like very low vibrationally. In fact, actually, now come to think about it, I could definitely understand why a lot of people why a lot of people are so addicted, okay, to sex. And I think unconsciously, okay, sex as an act, it is supposed to be one of the highest vibrational energies, okay? It's definitely like a high vibrational energy. And let me just think about what I'm about to say before I say it. I could definitely see why a lot of people gravitate towards sex, because a lot of people may think that it's the closest that they're getting to God. In actuality, it is the closest that they're getting to creating like God. Okay? While we just think that it's just a hit it and quit it, like just do the do type of energy. Naturally, sex is supposed to be sacred. It's supposed to be for the purpose of creating, okay? When a man and a woman comes together, okay, and they engage in sexual intimacy, they exchange energies and are therefore able to produce. They're able to create. And so a lot of folks think that, it's just it's just a low vibrational type of energy. It's just a physical act. When in fact, sex is a very, very spiritual act. It's a very spiritual, I don't even know what to call it, y'all. What would you call it? Act? Energy? Let me know in the comments. Okay? And a lot of folks, I don't even think they're quite sure why it is that they have this inclination to want to have sex. I don't think they even know. I think for them, because they're so caught up on staying on this level, okay? It's like going from level 0 to level 7, right? You have so many folks who are so caught up at staying on level 0 because the physical is the only thing that they can think of and see, that they can't move past that physical aspect of sexual intimacy, when in fact sex is supposed to be a highly, it is not supposed to be, it is a highly spiritual, I would even say, contract. Yeah, you don't want to hear that. Y'all know you don't want to hear that, because it is. You literally come into a contract with the person that you engage in sexual intimacy with. And many of y'all have all these contracts with these folks out here. All right, so let's go back. Okay, let's go back. Actually, no, we are moving forward. I got you, Spirit. Okay, wherever it's going, that's where it's going. All right. So, folks actually engage in sexual intimacy because the result of that is supposed to be producing life. The result of sexual intimacy as a high vibrational energy, it's supposed to be creating. You literally engage in sexual intimacy to create life. So when we're saying that the closest that you will get to godlike consciousness is through creation, I could definitely see why people are so apt to want to engage in sexual intimacy. Because spiritually, there is something innate in us that it's almost like it pulls us to create. Okay? There's an energy within us, that godlike aspect in us consistently pushes us to exercise that godlike consciousness, because as a product of the Most High, okay, you have the genes, you have the genetic makeup, everything in you is God-like. You are made up of all the 4 elements: air, water, earth, fire. All of those are aspects of God. You are literally God in the flesh. You are, some folks may think that this may be a little preachy. If you think this is too preachy, it ain't for you. Okay, with all respect. So going, okay, we're moving forward. That godlike consciousness in us consistently screams to be materialized. Okay? I believe that humans were created because, this powerful energy just wanted to see itself materialize in the physical. And a lot of folks doubt on a daily basis that they are godlike. You have and are made up of all the four elements. Like, how much more godlike can you get? The human body is like, what, 80% water? Okay. All right. And the blood that runs through your veins is fire. This flesh is earth. Okay. This breath that you breathe, that's air. How much more can you get? So, all right. There is something in us, whatever it is that you may call it, that is consistently screaming and begging to become the highest version of itself. And when we're talking about creativity, okay, there are different things that we do that helps us to connect to that high vibrational energy. And going back to what I was telling y'all about, okay, what made me, do this live and how I felt when I was doing the live. And Spirit was just like, yeah, the closest that you will get to godlike consciousness is by creating. And you create by using your creative gifts. You've been given so many different creative gifts, things, abilities that they can be considered outer worldly, of a different dimension, of a different realm. Well, I mean, how else can you explain it? Because many of you are not even explaining how they got here. Are you really truly able to explain how these gifts got here? And many of us are born with these gifts and we're meant to use them. And the more we use them, the more we connect to that highest version of ourselves. And so when we're talking about, okay, getting closer to godlike consciousness, that is one of the ways that you do that, is to create. Use your creative gifts, whatever it is. Because those gifts were given to you so that way it's almost like if you can really like imagine this, it's almost like a telephone. Mr. Telephone Man, there's something wrong with my line. Some of y'all like feel like there's some blockage where, whatever communication you're supposed to be getting from your spiritual team, like you feel like it's blocked. A lot of you feel like it's blocked, like, and this is why many of you feel like your creative gifts are blocked, because the communication between you and your spirit guides, your spiritual team, is blocked. It almost seems like there's something interfering with that communication. And in order for you to like get to that godlike consciousness, it's essential that you remove the blockage, whatever it is that's blocking the communication between you and your spiritual team. Because once the communication, the blockage is removed, your creative energy will flow. And when your creative gifts are flowing, you become a lot more aligned with the divinity within. Okay? You become a lot more aligned with the divinity within, and therefore you get to see that divinity within. Does that make sense? Okay? Let me know in the comments if that makes sense. It makes it made sense when I was envisioning it. Literally. Like, you know how a lot of people, and this is another example to help you understand, like, you have a lot of different veins and arteries in your body. Okay? Those veins and arteries allow blood to flow through your body. And one of the most powerful arteries that you have is your heart. And your heart actually allows you, okay? It's a very fiery kind of energy. This is why you see in tarot, like the strength card, it has a picture of a heart. That's fire energy. Okay, your heart is connected to your creative energy. It gives you the courage that you need to exercise your creative gifts. If that blood that flows through you, okay, that gets to your heart is blocked, okay, then that also means that your heart is not able to function properly. And this is why a lot of people, and this is why a lot of people tend to get sick. There's blocked arteries, there's, heart problems, and so on and so forth. Okay. Someone who's a medical professional can, can back this up. Okay. So if you will, the blood that flows through you is the communication that you have with your spiritual team. And that communication allows the physical aspect to do what it's supposed to do. If that blockage, if that communication is blocked, then there are a lot of things that you're trying to materialize here in the 3D that's going to be challenging. So when we're talking about getting close to God-like consciousness, the more you are in communication with your spirit guides, right? That blood is flowing through your body and it's able to nourish the heart, which is a major, major creative organ. Okay. Heart chakra. Okay. Once that blockage is removed, you're able to create. You're able to create. Like, really think about it. How was the cosmos? How was Earth created? Can anyone actually really answer that question? All right. We're not even going to go to that. It was created. It was created. And so that same energy that created the cosmos, that created the earth, it seeks to be it seeks to be seen. It seeks to let itself be shown through you. Like, think about this, y'all. Don't you think that, the Most High, the Creator, was showing off when all the cosmos and the earth and all that stuff was created? It was created. Don't you think, the Most High was showing off? I mean, dang, look at all the stars and, all the planets that exist. Like, if that wasn't an entity showing off, I don't know what is. So that same energy in you is begging for you to show off. Yes. Show off your talents, show off your gifts. Now, some folks may take that and they just take it on a very low vibrational energy and they're like, yeah, I'm going to let that ego flow. Oh, no. No. Okay. Exercise your creative gifts, because that is the closest that you get to your godlike consciousness. And if you don't know what those creative gifts are, remove the blockages that are preventing you from hearing the voice of the divine, which is directly connected to your spiritual gifts. Like, how do you think, everyone who's doing what they're doing, got there? They heard a calling. They heard that voice. They heard something say, okay, move this, go here, speak to this person, sit down. Yeah, because sometimes Your spiritual team, they tell you to sit down, because that's the way that you get to go within. Because it's not always move left, move right, go forward, da 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 da. Sometimes they're like, okay, sit down, because you get to be in a meditative state. And that's the state that I was in before coming on here. And I was trying to figure, I was like, what is this? Okay, what is this? Like, what is this? Trying to, you know, gather like what was happening. And for those of you who missed this part of the live, as soon as I sat down here, as soon as I sat down and I didn't know what I was going to say, and something said, sit. As soon as I sat down, it just came. Oh, okay. There's something about doing what you love. There's something about doing what it is that you're called to do that puts you in a very empowering energy. There's something about walking in alignment with your purpose that empowers you. Okay? That's what it means to be close to God-like consciousness, y'all. When that communication between you and the divine and your spirit guides and your spiritual team, it's flowing. That communication is flowing. They're giving you the messages and you're receiving them. You know exactly where it's coming from. It's coming from a higher dimension, and you're able to take that information and decode it. And best believe this is for someone, what I'm about to say. Some of the message that your spirit guides are saying, it's only for you. It's not for someone else. Don't expect everyone around you to understand the messages that you receive from your spirit guides. Some messages you receive are only for you. And I'm going to tell you this is how you know, because sometimes when you receive those messages, even when you try to explain it to others, they will not get it. They're not supposed to. Okay, so this is for someone. Not every message you receive from your spirit guides is for other people. Some messages are for your ears only. And there may be a protective factor in that. All right. And I definitely think that there's a protective factor in that. Because a lot of times your spirit guides are communicating with you. You're meant to move in silence. You're not meant to, so-and-so. Oh, girl, guess what I heard? You know what? I was in meditation and my spirit guide said, I'm supposed to go here. And, my spirit guide said, It's not every message that you receive is meant to be shared with other people. Okay, some messages, it's kind of like, your man whispering sweetness into your ears, or, your woman whispering sweetness into your ears. That stuff is not supposed to be for nobody else. That's for your ears only. That's for your ears only, silly. And I know you get excited. And especially when you're at a point where you're like, okay, the communication is not blocked. I'm able to hear, I'm getting to a higher dimension, and you're excited. You want to share with other people. No. As excited as you may get, and you receiving all those downloads, you getting those dreams, not everything is meant to be shared with other people. Okay, so that's for someone. So remove those blockages. Allow your spirit guides to speak, speak to you. And the removal of those blockages is going to elevate you to such a level creatively where you're going to be very, very much in alignment and connected to. And I don't know if it's necessarily going to be, you're going to be in alignment, okay? You're going to feel and know what it's like to be in that godlike consciousness, okay? And it's not like the movies that, folks would imagine. It's some, and as we speak, I'm listening and I'm hearing that line from The Lion King where Mufasa is like, speaking from the clouds, and, Mufasa's like, Simba, remember who you like. It's not always like that, y'all. It really isn't. Like, for the most part, many of you know it is it's a very quiet, still, silent. It's a very soft voice. It's so silent to where many of us actually miss it. We think that it's supposed to be like this huge, deep voice that's coming from above, and it's going to, it's going to be thundering and lightning and so on and so forth. No. A lot of times it is so soft. It is so sweet. It is love, right? So connect with that energy. That is your godlike consciousness. And know what you're hearing, okay? Know what you're hearing. Know how to decipher when it's this or that. Because, and I almost feel like, when you're in a position where you're in alignment, it's not too many like low vibrational energies that could really like get to you like that. It may try to, penetrate your auric field, and just, for many of you, I'm getting that, what is that? The 7 of Wands energy? Yeah, I'm getting a very strong 7 of Wands energy. This is not a tarot reading, y'all. I'm just like, as I see it, I'm just going to give it to you as I see it. That 7 of Wands energy, like where all the wands are trying to come and, get to the lady in the, okay, I'm getting a strong 7 of Wands energy. Okay, it's almost like this. Like you got all these energies trying to get to it's like they're trying to penetrate that auric field. They're like, yeah, once we do that, then we could be like, manipulate this one. We could make her do what we want to do. We could make him do what we want him to do. For many of you, yeah, like there's some work that you get to do, because it's a lot of these energies trying to, and it's really up here that they can, try to get to you, for many of you, because physically they know that they can't lay a hand on you. Okay, so they're gonna try to do it up here. Okay, so yeah, be cautious with that. Be cautious with that. Try to stay away from social media as much as possible. Like, and I know for many of us, it's a fight, because nowadays, like everything you do is done by computer. Everything you do, you require some sort of like technology to do it. So it's like, oh, okay, while I'm working, I might as well check, my this page and that page. Be careful with that. Okay, be careful with that, because that's that whole thing of, moving from natural to artificial. And it's a major agenda with that, y'all. It's a major agenda. Moving from natural to artificial. It's a major agenda. And you get to literally like be conscious. Okay, I'm only going to use my phone this time of day and that time of day, because I know I got X, Y, and Z to do. It has to be like that, or it gets to be like that. Okay. I don't know why. I feel like somebody needs to see this card. This one right here. You see that? Okay, you see how here, like these, like she is in a very protective space, and you see all of these energies are literally trying to, it almost seems like they're trying to remove the glass, okay, that is protecting her energy. And you see one of them, one of them is like, it's even like being extra forceful. Okay. So yeah, so many of you be careful with these energies that are out there, that use the power of suggestion, that use a lot of subliminal messages. Many of you may not know this. There are a lot of subliminal messages within the videos and things that you're seeing on social media. Okay, every video, some of y'all may not know this, and every video that you watch has a subliminal message. Okay, a subliminal message is not always a negative thing. Okay, there are some of us who are very, very, very intentional about sending high vibrational energies out there because our purpose is to awaken souls. And at the same time, just know that there are videos out there of people doing stuff to keep your soul asleep, to keep you asleep, okay, to keep you in a sleep state. There's always a message beyond the message. Remember that. There's always a message beyond the message. So don't ever take, stuff lightly, as if it's just, There's always a message beyond the message. And everyone has an agenda. Everyone has an agenda. It just depends on, okay, is that agenda in alignment with your soul's purpose? Is it awakening you? Is it elevating you? Is it empowering you? Okay, making you laugh all the time is not empowerment, because people literally will mind F you while they make you laugh. Best believe. And for many of you, that's exactly how they do it. If they keep you laughing hard enough, you will literally miss the subliminal messages that are being instilled in those videos. Okay? That was for somebody. That was definitely for somebody. All right, y'all. I think I've been on here long enough. I truly hope that you received the message. I do believe and know that everything that was said was meant to elevate you, okay, and allow you and help you to be more in a godlike consciousness, to be in your power. And I hope the message resonated. So before I sign off, I'm going to say anyone who's interested in a reading, you can email me at messagesfromthewaters@gmail.com. Thank you for joining the live, everyone who participated, everyone who commented. Let me just give a shout out to some of y'all, because I think I saw some of the members on here. Hey, Jim. Hey, Faye. Good to see you. Let's see. Any other members? All right, y'all. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the live. Much love, peace, and divine light. Thank you to all the members. Thank you to everyone who joined the live, commented, sent high vibrational comments. Much love, peace, and divine light.